Some interesting updates over the weekend have brought us here because we know Justin Baldoni and or Jamey Heath were supposed to be in the positions right about now. But we know some extensions were approved, so they're not going to be in the positions today, the 21st, or tomorrow, the 22nd, because we know now that the positions have been approved to take place further down in September, possibly heading into October. Let's get into it. Also, Blake Lively got a motion denied, and we know what that means, right? I'll tell you. Let's get into it.
F around and find out. F around and find out.
Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of F Around and Find Out. I'm your host, Elsie, and you come here for all the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni drama. I'm going to catch you up. We're not going to be here long. Don't hold me to that. You know I always say that, and then we are here long. But Justin Baldoni was supposed to be getting deposed today on a Sunday, which I found super weird. But I asked our friend Little Girl Attorney over on TikTok, and she said, while it's very, very uncommon, it's happened before. But we know now we're going to stay on the uncommon side of the trend because the depositions have been moved to sometime in September, further down, just not this week, right? So back in July, you guys will remember Blake and her team, and pretty much I think the Wafer parties agreed to extend the positions until September 30th, right? And that was agreed upon with everybody and approved by the judge. And then on September 12th, Judge Lyman granted Blake and her team a 10-day extension of the deadline to complete the depositions of defendants Steve Surwitz, Jamey Heath, and Justin Baldoni from September 30th to October 10th. You remember we were also hoping Justin Baldoni and his team would get the courtesy and the extension to depose Taylor Swift further in October, but Judge Lyman shut that down. He, however, approved Blake's team to depose all these folks further into October, right around October 10th, right? So we know now from this order that was given over the weekend that Jed Wallace's deposition has been moved to October 9th. Ms. Lively and defendant Jed Wallace and Street Relations, Inc. have engaged in extensive conferrals to identify a mutually agreeable date for Ms. Lively's deposition of Mr. Wallace, seeking to accommodate both the crowded deposition scheduling in late September and early October, and also to accommodate Mr. Wallace's temporary unavailability through mid-September due to at blank, we don't know. Ms. Lively and the Wallace defendants have identified October 9th as the most convenient date that accommodates the competing considerations set forth above. Good cause exists to modify the existing case management plan and scheduling order to permit this deposition to proceed on October 9th in light of Mr. Wallace's unavailability through mid-September and numerous other depositions in this case that have been scheduled for late September and early October. While Ms. Lively and the Wallace defendants sought to identify a mutually agreeable date that could accommodate the unavailability. Now, therefore, it is hereby stipulated and agreed by and among Blake Lively and Jed Wallace and Street Relations, Inc. through the undersigned counsel that Ms. Lively may take the deposition of Jed Wallace on October 9th at the offices of counsel for the Wallace defendants, Jackson Walker LLP. Now, why didn't they redact that address? Why didn't they redact the location in general? Does that tell me Blake will not be there? Because we know she loves to redact an address. We know she loves to redact the location. And we know she loves to cite harmful intent, fearing for her life, fearing for her children, whatever she be saying. So by not redacting, Jed Wallace's address for the deposition, his law firm, by not redacting the location, by not redacting when and everything, is she saying, one, she will not be there, or will she be there, but somehow she's no longer afraid for her life? I don't know what you deduce from this. I'm going to assume this means she will not be in attendance, because why else would you not have redacted it? Because we know she loves a redaction, right? And we also know now that at least Justin Baldoni is not in deposition as we speak, because I found it very bizarre that his deposition was supposed to take place on a Sunday leading into a Monday, as well as Jamey Heath and as well as Steve Surwitz, because Steve Surwitz's deposition was supposed to take place on the 15th, a couple of days ago. And considering we didn't hear anything about that, I'm assuming that did not take place either. I'm also going to go ahead and assume, because all of these people are possibly going to be in LA, it would make sense that those depositions would take place in California. I don't see them going to Chicago to take Steve Surwitz's deposition, then coming to LA to take Jamey and Justin's deposition. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not telling you anything for a fact. I can also very quickly catch you guys up on another order that dropped over the weekend. Judge Lyman finally denied Blake Lively a motion. And we know history in this case has taught us, whenever Blake Lively gets any type of denial, right? Anytime the Wafer parties have asked for something and it's been granted, or Blake Lively has asked for something and is being denied, the trend continues to show something big is coming that is kind of going to favor Blake Lively. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. But we heard from Judge Lyman over the weekend. Remember when Blake wanted to get all the information and she pretty much wanted to subpoena the PI firm that Brian Friedman uses, Source Intelligence, and Judge Lyman is shutting that down. Moving plaintiff Blake Lively has filed a motion pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, blah, 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 seeking order compelling respondent Source Intelligence LLC to comply with a third-party subpoena issued on June 13th, 2025. The court now denies Lively's motion. Sweeter words have never been spoken. A party may obtain discovery regarding any non-privileged matter that is relevant to any party's claim or defense and proportional to the needs of the case. The party issuing the subpoena must demonstrate that the information sought is relevant and material to the allegations and claims at issue in the proceeding. A little case law there. Lively has not demonstrated that Source Intelligence is likely to have non-privileged information relevant to any claims in the underlying action. Non-privileged here is the key word because, again, Brian Friedman is a lawyer. He can do whatever he wants as a lawyer to defend his client. You cannot tell me to, hey, show me your strategy. Who did you use? What did you use? So whatever information, now the judge is not saying Source Intelligence may not have information, is just privileged. It's covered, right? The basis for Lively's current request is that Source Intelligence was purportedly involved in an alleged online smear campaign. Pretend this is tequila. Anytime, new game, guys. Anytime we hear smear campaign or retaliation, take a shot of whatever you're drinking. And it's water for today. The basis for Lively's current request is that Source Intelligence was purportedly involved in an alleged online smear campaign against her in retaliation. We're all going to be drunk. Retaliation for her claims of discrimination. Do we drink at discrimination too? Hell. Somebody call me a cab. I can't drive home. Take my keys. Take my car keys. Somebody call me a cab. Ridiculous. Lively, however, has preferred no facts to support. I'm a mess. To support her suspicions that Source Intelligence was involved in the conduct she alleges to have been wrongful. She states only that one of the agents who participated in the alleged smear campaign may be Source Intelligence. She's ridiculous. Wait, do we drink again? Am I drunk? Because I almost forgot that said smear campaign again. Okay, let's go back. She states only that one of the agents who participated in the alleged smear campaign may be Source Intelligence, and that Source Intelligence may have been engaged in the same type of online activity this court has already held is not privileged or protected. Mere speculation cannot support discovery. What goes on in a tiny little brain of yours, it's not facts, and it's not evidence. Lively further asserts that Source Intelligence was retained by counsel for the Wayfair parties for the benefit of the Wayfair parties, and Source Intelligence specialized in reputation management and digital erasure. Okay. But Source Intelligence has submitted a sworn declaration from its founding partner that it was engaged by counsel for the Wayfair parties only in late 2024, that it was asked to perform investigative services regarding certain persons or companies it understood to be connected to the lawsuit Lively filed against the Wayfair parties, and it prepared investigative background reports and provided those reports to counsel. The founding partner specifically denies that Source performed any services related to social media monitoring, influence operations, digital erasure, or web monitoring, or that it performed any services connected to the digital campaign alleged by Lively. Do we drink for digital campaign too? Hell. Furthermore, the only request for production in the subpoena directly targeted at efforts to seed, influence, encourage, create, purchase, manipulate, boost, amplify, facilitate, or engage with social media is request number 6, and Source Intelligence has requested that no documents responsive to that request exist. The motion to compel is accordingly denied. The clerk of court is respectfully directed to close this matter. And again, what do we take from this? Does this mean that a big grant is coming? And by a big grant, is Judge Lyman going to allow Blake Lively and her people to keep the Steve Surwitz recording under wraps? Like I said, every time Blake gets something, it means he's about to snatch something away from Justin. I pray to God, and I hope that is not the case this time around. But again, if I'm being a reasonable person and we're going off what we've seen in history in this case, suffice it to say, something could be afoot. Something could be brewing. Now, my prayer and my hope is that he shuts that shit down and allows that recording to come out, right? But will I be shocked if he finds a way to make it okay for her to keep it under wraps? I will not be, and neither should you. I told you I wasn't going to keep you here long, but what I want you to do is please go find our friend Lauren from Court of Random Opinion. She was actually supposed to be with me in this video, but she went to bed, or she pretended to go to bed after my Miami Hurricanes whooped some Florida Gators ass last night. If you're a college football fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not, I apologize for wasting your time. But considering Lauren converted my husband to be a Gators fan, yeah, you should have seen him last night on the couch, pretending not to understand football. Like, what is going on? Like, why does the score say, yeah, you're losing? You're losing, sweetie. You and your friend Lauren suck. Anyway, I appreciate you for being here. Please make sure to go troll Lauren on her page. Anytime she posts something, leave a comment under there. Go Canes. Oh, or better yet, tell her I said the U is back and the Gators suck some ass. Swamp ass. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. She's gonna feel that in her guts. So nice, so warming. With that said, I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for your time. We are almost at 25K subscribers, guys. I'm screaming inside, but I appreciate your time. Thank you for the support, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and check out the next video that's gonna come out tomorrow, possibly, about Blake Lively and her, let's call it, coping mechanisms. That lady's a mess. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Around and find out.